Hello everyone, welcome to another session of interaction with a topper, and with us today is one of my very special student, Anupam Singh, who will be clicking IPS this year, and he has done it in his very second attempt, so a lot of things to learn from him. Anupam, congratulations first of all, and welcome to an interaction.
Thank you so much.
Yes, great. So we'll start with the very first question of interaction, which is how are you feeling? कैसा लग रहा है after clicking a rank and after so much of hard work of 2 years? How are you feeling?
Sir, the very day when I found the results and I found my name in the list, that day was very overwhelming. There were mixed emotions. I was crying. I was happy. I did not know how to react also. So many emotions flew automatically out. But now that the emotions have sinked in, I have realized that I might be getting into the desired services. So now I feel this is just another day of my life.
Great. Another day of your life. I believe that term civil servant, you have realized what servants stand for.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely great. अच्छा अनुपम, अगर हम आपका preparation देखें, if we see the last 2 years of your preparation, and especially this year of your preparation, see, I have seen you very closely during the interview program, but I have not seen you exactly what you were doing during the prelims or the mains.
Yes.
Can you please guide the students, like what should they look for in at least the prelims and the mains exam phase?
So firstly, let's talk about the prelim stage.
Yes.
The very first thing that you must understand that there is a lot of uncertainty, and the questions have been coming at a very difficult level. So you have to be mentally prepared for anything that comes into the exam. I think the UPSC is trying to test how quickly you adapt to the circumstances, because this year the options were very different as they were not previously given by the UPSC. And regarding the preparation for prelims, we have seen that in my friend circle also, people start to focus a lot on the current affairs, and they buy multiple magazines, which even I did in my first year of preparation. So I used to buy 2 different set of magazines and I used to try to cover both of them, which actually is not possible. So eventually I tried to stick to only one magazine and one newspaper. I tried to cover the newspaper as much as I can, and if I am not able to finish the newspaper, I would not fret upon that the newspaper is not complete. I'll just let it go and start the next day with a fresh start. So regarding current affairs, you have to be very minimalist in approach. You have to understand that not anything will come in the exam. Only things which are of great concern, of international importance, or they concern India at a larger scale, they only will come into the exams. So you have to study your static and current with a linkage. Then you can feel that the burden of current affair is not a separate one, and they can be like coherently prepared in the same field, sir.
Absolutely. I think it is very, very important to understand that current affair is not a standalone event.
Yes.
It's something which is a logical extension of the foundational understanding we have of a subject. So that's where we need to take both of them parallelly simultaneously, right?
Right, sir.
Anupam, just tell me one thing. Did you used to make notes also of the important events which are happening in the newspaper you are reading?
Sir, initially I used to do, but sometimes it used to happen that the newspaper note making would become so overwhelming that I would just run away and I would not look at the newspaper itself. So a few days I would miss, and then after 2-3 days of missing, I would just give myself another push that I cannot bear to ignore newspaper at all. So initially I used to make notes on the sheets, but then it got very much cumbersome. So then next thing that I started was that I used to take digital copies of the newspaper, and I would take screenshots, and I would just put them into separate folders that I have made in my laptop. So GS1 news that is relevant, I'll just take a screenshot and put it there. GS2, GS3, GS4. Now, whenever I want to revise the current affairs, I'll just look at the news which has been in the past 2 months, 3 months, and I'll get a holistic scenario as to what all is happening.
No, great. That's a very smart way of preparing, I believe. Right? You are making your own digital notes in a sense.
Yes, sir.
Just tell me one thing, like, what about PYQs, the previous year questions? What role do they play in your preparation? How important are they? Especially the PYQs of prelims examination, and also not to leave the main examination, because end of the day it is a comprehensive preparation, right? So how did you tackle the PYQs?
So regarding prelims, I think a lot of people will not agree with me, but very honestly, I have not really looked at the PYQs of prelims at a very great depth. I used to just study the resources, and I believe I was lucky both the times that I got prelims without looking at the PYQs at a very detailed depth. But for the mains, the first time I failed the mains, and I realized that the single most reason that was blocking me, that I had no idea what will come in the exam. And then I started looking at the questions, and now I got a very great sense of clarity that if I see the section of society, there are four, 5 topics, and questions will come touching some or the other dimension from that topic only. So you have to understand that those are the topics and dimensions will be covered from there only. Then I started looking at the PYQs of mains very dedicatedly, and I even found that many times the questions are being repeated, the theme is same, and the dimension that they're asking is changed. So if you understand the topic holistically, then you can very well address the question. At least the 80% of the demand will be addressed in the mains. So mains is not preparation on the day. Actually, mains is preparation on the days before the exam only. 80% most often, like it will be happening that 80% of the mains you will be preparing at your home only. The 20% questions that always will be bouncers that you'll have to tackle on the moment itself, sir.
Absolutely correct. I think if we look at UPSC exam, I think mains as well as interview, that depends a lot on our hands, the preparation that we do before going to the battle. It's more like the more you sweat in peace, the less you bleed in the war.
Right, sir.
That is, I think, main examination as well as interview.
Yes, sir. That
Prelims becomes very unpredictable, right?
Right, sir.
And looking at the cutoff that we have got this year for prelim, 75 marks, right? So what do you think? What made it come down? Is it the difficulty of the GS paper, or is it actually the CSAT which is killing more of the things in prelim exam itself?
So firstly, many people will say that the GS is also becoming difficult, or there might be theories about this. I would say that in GS, the level of questions was not difficult. The options that were given were very mentally challenging, and that required a lot of courage for you to take the options. So that is where, if the students could not clear, that is where they might have faced challenge. Because in certain, this extreme pressure, the courage to mark an option, that is very difficult. Regarding CSAT, sir, I would completely agree with whatever everybody is saying. I myself am a graduate. I'm an engineer. I have graduated from IT Delhi. Despite that, the 2023 CSAT paper, I was feeling that at least 40% of the quant questions I had just left. I just read the first sentence and I thought I'll not be wasting any more second on that. I just skipped it altogether. Any question that in CSAT I feel, in the very 5 seconds, if I feel I'm not getting any hint, I'll just leave the question. I'll not bring my ego in between that I'm a graduate from this college or that college. I'll simply humbly bow down to the question and move to the next question and attend if the comprehensions are there, or maybe some simpler questions I'll find.
So basically what you are saying is a very courageous statement, I think, that even if you're a graduate from IITs, the most prestigious of technical institutes in India, you have to bow down to UPSC, respect the question and say, if I don't know, I don't know. Let me not kill my chances,
yes.
Right? That's a great statement from you, I think, and will be very much important and essential, guiding the students who are giving their first attempt, because CSAT is something they fear of. Taking it to the next level, when we come to mains, you told that you looked at PYQs. So is it something like we can make a mind map of each of the subject looking at PYQs before we enter the examination hall?
Yes, sir. I do believe if we combine the syllabus and the PYQs, you'll get a very big holistic web of questions that can be asked in the examination. So if you start taking the individual statement from the syllabus and start mapping as to what was the question asked with reference to. Let's suppose a topic with regards to women, how they are vulnerable, what can we do, where all they are facing challenges. This is the most important thing, the challenges faced by women. You have to understand what are the socio-economic, political, these are different kind of challenges that they are facing. And then if you try to think upon all these points, if not too much, then you can try to jot down some keywords, if I may say. Like when I used to try to make some mind maps of the things, I'll just write women, economic challenge. I'll make a web out of that. I'll write 3 points or 3 words that I can just recollect in the exam. So this gives me a broad idea. Similarly, in economy, I got very good notes from somewhere, and I used them to squeeze them down and used to make maps of those things also. And now I had each and every topic ready. Agriculture, MSP, all these things were ready with me with 2 to 3 keywords of that topic. And so I did not have to really study a lot when the mains was there. And I also had a lot of confidence that most of the questions will be from this set of study material that I've collected. And I'll just have to apply my knowledge as to what is asked, and I'll have to just deliver on that.
Understood. So basically you were pre-prepared, I can say,
yes,
before entering the main exam. I think that is one of the smartest thing that we need to understand. Because many a time I have seen a term saying people that you work hard. I think it is important to work hard smartly.
Yes.
I think that's what I am getting a hint from you, how technically you organized your preparation. Janpam, taking it to the next level, let's go to interview. So how did you start the preparation of interview? How did you see the interview and how you navigated your interview in the interview itself? Can you cover that up for us, like the complete interview, that complete period starting from point zero to clicking a rank?
So when I found that I have cleared means, so the first thing I did was I ran to my friend. His name is Vaibhav. He has been my one of my guiding pillars in this whole journey. So whenever I'm in doubt or whenever I don't know what the next stage will be, I just rush to him and he really helps me to calm down. And he gives me a lot of confidence as to what will be the next stage that I'll be appearing into. After that, like discussing with him, I tried to find out what all the services were. And even after that, searching over the internet, I was not able to find real clarity as to what all am I going into. Then I just started looking for some mentorship, and luckily I got the chance to, I just landed here because there was a free session conducted by the Samar sir, and then I clearly remember that he took at least 1 to 1.5 hours with each student to dedicatedly tell them what you are getting into, how should you see the examination, this interview stage, what is the type of services that you must think upon, and how should you fill your DAF. So I was really confused about DAF. I must have like typed my DAF, then edited it at least 20 to 30 times. And each time I would just come to him and I would say, sir, could you please take a look at it? And he was very helpful. And I can, words are falling short because that was a very stressful time in my life also. Personally, I was facing a lot of challenges. And that is why any ray of hope that I could find, I would just cling on to it and not let that go. So thank you, sir, for all that support. And after that, I tried to attend various mocks. I gave a mock at, sir also guided me to give a mock here. And I tried mocks at various places. And the final learning that I took with me into the interview stages, that I should be as natural as possible. Try not to fake anything. Because a very good principle that somebody taught me was, if you see a child, let's suppose you are 20 years and you see a child lying who is 5 years, you'll easily catch that. Imagine the same scenario. You are 20 to 30 years and they are 60 years of age. You cannot lie to them. You have to be a very, very genuine person. And that is one thing that I carried with me. And at last I was, the opinion was that I'll just enjoy this day because it might not come again. So I'll just enjoy it to the fullest. I'll enjoy the conversations that are being done in the interview room. And that was one of the most special days of my life, sir.
Absolutely, Anupam. Thank you for the kind word, first thing. Second thing, you always deserved a rank. Third thing, we need good people. But I am sure that every Anupam needs a Vaibhav to help him out every time whenever he is confused. So I think that's a holistic journey that you have seen from all the angles, right? Anupam, just the last question. Like, everyone say that n number of factors works out for a person to be successful. Now that you are on the other side of the table, now that your name is there in that PDF, so to say, the prestigious one, what exactly do you think worked out for you? Like, is it the hard work, smart work, luck, people? What was it? Like, or a culmination of all? What do you think, what worked for you?
Sir, I think multiple factors were at play. Firstly, I would not try to boast or anything. I would just simply say that hard work is the first essential prerequisite. If you are not working hard, it is very, very rare that you will get into the services. You might clear 1 or 2 stages, but it is hardly very rare that you will get through all the 3 stages. Apart from hard work, I personally believe that I had a bunch of friends who were ready to fight every battle with me. They are one of my most precious bringings that I can ever carry with myself. I would just take a minute to name a few: Vaibhav, Ganesh, Aman, Riya, Kateni, Ritika, and these are all my friends that I would call whenever I would feel low, and they would just try to motivate me that I can do this. They see the potential in me, even when I could not see the potential in myself. And the other 2 factors I would definitely like to address is my father, whose dream it has been to see me as an officer working for the welfare of the society, especially the deprived sections. Because I have always seen my father working so hard. He has been my role model. He will always be my role model. And another school friend of mine who cleared the services, she is currently a foreign officer. She cleared it 2 years ago. And she was one of my biggest person to look to. That if she coming from the same socio-economic background, same mental intellectual capabilities. If she can, then I can also. And lastly, it is very important to mention that the luck factor is a very important factor that we often underplay and we do not give it due credit. Even though all the factors were with me, no day would pass when I would say that luck was not in my favor. I cannot just negate that luck was in my favor. Luck did play a very big role, and I feel that I was absolutely lucky to be clearing the services. Had it not been the luck, maybe I would have landed some below services, or I could have even missed the selection by a few marks also. So you have to be very patient. You should not be hard on yourself, and you have to understand that despite all your hard work, there might be some factors that are not in your control, some external factors, and they might not be suitable to the time, and you have to just accept it and try again. As somebody says, try again. Like if you fail, then fail better, try again.
That's great. That's great. I'll add to it. I'll say luck is very, very important sometime. Somebody told me maybe a decade back that you have to be lucky enough to not be good in prelims, mains and interview. Individual time you appear for it, but actually in the very same year, then only you'll click a rank.
Yes, sir.
And I understood it after many years, I think. So luck definitely plays a role. I think, Anupam, there's a great amount of positive attitude what I see in you. And I believe you will be an asset, a great asset for not only governance, but for welfare of people. I think, Anupam, you well deserve the rank and all the very best. And thank you very much for interacting with us. Great. It was nice talking to you, man.
Thank you so much for having me, sir. I hope these words and these learnings might help. Even if one of the aspirants, I'll be very, very grateful.
Absolutely. Thank you.
So much.
Thank you. Thank you.